Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. Don't mind the mess of my shelves behind me. I've been pulling off some books. But today I'm going to share with you a cancelled idea, cancelled multiple times, but I'm going to be sharing with you some art that I've created. I literally did this over a year ago, almost 2 years ago I started this. But can anyone else who creates things, whether it be visual things, music, or if you write things, when you finish things, do you just absolutely hate it and not want to share it with anyone? Because that's what happened to me. But people are quite literally sharing and selling AI art at the moment. So at this point, I'm just going to share what I made with you, regardless if I think it's finished, if I think it's good, if I think it's horrible, whatever, I'm sharing with you today. I'm splitting this again into 2 parts because I don't think anyone wants me to talk for a huge amount of time, but I decided to redesign some book covers. Some of the book covers, I redesigned them because I hated the original covers and I didn't think that it was representative of the book. And some of them, I just redesigned them because I thought it would be fun. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 of those designs, 1 book series and 2 single books. Standalone. And then tomorrow I will do the same. I will do 1 book series and 2 standalone books. In fact, let me give you all of the books so you know what to expect, and that's why there's some gaps on my shelves. So in today's video, books number 1 is going to be the Twilight series by Stephanie Meyer. The original Twilight covers are iconic, so why would I want to change them? I don't know, they've just been out so long that it's getting stale, it's getting old on my shelves. I wanted something fun and fresh and new, so I redesigned them. Should I be getting the books that I'm talking about? Probably. Hang on. Hope my mic is okay because if I have to refilm this, I'm going to die. I'm trying out a new mic situation. All right, I can't even find all the books I'm looking for on my shelves. I'm going to have to insert pictures. The second book that I am going to redesign today is going to be Big Little Lies, which is my all-time favorite book. And the third book today is going to be Anxious People by Frederick Buckman, which is another book that I love, but I really hate every single cover. And then tomorrow you're going to see the Diviners series because the original hardcovers that I have, they don't all match. And they had some really pretty special editions that came out, I was going to say recently. It was recently when I started this project. The reason I was redesigning them is because I wanted the special editions and I never got them, so I made my own special editions that matched each other. And then I will also be doing a new cover for Evelyn Hugo, even though that book is iconic and it doesn't need its cover redone, but it was just for fun. And lastly, I will be doing The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Again, not because that cover's ugly, I just thought it would be fun. But those 3 are for tomorrow's video, so let's start with today. Let me talk you through my design idea before I show it to you. And my idea has also changed with what I wanted to do with these covers. Originally, and I think I even have a clip of me saying this probably 3 years ago. In a video I said that I'd created a bookmark and I wanted to start a online bookmark and book merch store. But I made a Daisy Jones and the Six bookmark, and when I made it I hadn't seen anyone else do this design, but I'm sure there's plenty now. But yeah, once I finished it I just hated it and I didn't want to put it into the world. So, and then 2 years ago I started this idea again with the book covers because I was going to sell prints of them so that you could actually put the dust jacket on your books, and then I ended up hating them. So here we are 2 years later, and I think I will release it into the world this time. Let's see. Let me read the books first and then I'll tell you my predicament. So the Twilight books, obviously they're iconic. My idea was that I thought it would be so fun to do the Twilight books, but if it was a Goosebumps cover, because Goosebumps are obviously also iconic and they are also nostalgic for a lot of us. Twilight is also nostalgic. So I thought, can I redesign the Twilight books but make them in the Goosebumps style? So first I had to go and find Goosebumps books that I thought would represent what was in each Twilight book. So for the first Twilight book, I saw this Goosebumps cover for One Day at Horrorland. And on it there is a big sign that says Welcome to Horrorland, and I know that Twilight is set in Forks, and I know there's a big sign outside Forks that says the city of Forks welcomes you or whatever. So I thought, what if I redesign this, but instead of the Welcome to Horrorland sign it will say Welcome to Forks. So I got to designing that. Obviously the setting is very different. I had to create mountains and the trees that I've never been to America at all, let alone where Twilight is set, so I have no idea if it's accurate. I'm going by what's in the movie, so I made it foggy, I put trees on it. And I kind of hate the color scheme. I don't know why I changed it from the original color scheme, but let me show you my finished design. Here we have the original cover and the inspiration, and then we have my design. Next up, New Moon. So I had to find a book that would represent New Moon. And if you've read the book, you will know that this is where the werewolves come into it. So I found this cover for Stay Out of the Basement. And by the way, this cover is kind of like the old style. Let me show you mine because I actually have some of mine. The old style has this strip of color and then the dripping. But if the one I just showed you for Welcome to Horrorland, I like that style where they like kind of redid it a bit with the dripping. So that's what I kind of, can you see? I mean, I'm hopefully inserting what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, so for Stay Out of the Basement, there is a hand coming through the door. And if you've read this book, this is where the whole werewolf thing happens, where a certain someone is staying home all this time pretending they have mono, but really they're turning into a werewolf. So I thought, what if I changed this hand that is like a plant hand into fur and make it a werewolf hand? So I tried to do that. Honestly, the fur I tried to do, instead of making it smooth fur, it was like tufted, and I kind of hate how it turned out, but whatever. So here we have the original New Moon cover, my inspiration, and then my finished design. Don't really like the color scheme. I'm already changing it for I'm changing it for future, I'm sorry. Next, we have Eclipse. And in Eclipse, when I was searching through all the Goosebumps covers, Eclipse, there is an iconic camping scene towards the end of the book where they are in a tent. Now, I found a Goosebumps book that was called Welcome to Camp Nightmare, and there is like a tent and there's like a creepy hand, which could be a vampire, could be a werewolf. So I pretty much just redrew this, but instead of the trees in the background looking how they looked, I wanted to make them look like the trees that were in Forks. So it was the same sort of setting, adding the same fog. So here we have the original Eclipse cover, the inspiration from Goosebumps, and my final design. Lastly, we have Breaking Dawn. I know there are other books as well, but I didn't do those. And my inspiration for this is one of the books that I actually do have. This one is Monster Blood, and so I thought, instead of having the green slime dripping, I thought one of the books, there's so much blood in this series, one of the books has to have dripping blood. So I thought it was going to be this one. So instead of green slime, I redrew the whole thing and made it red blood. By the way, I don't know if you can, if I'm inserting the video footage, I didn't just like take the cover, like I had to like redraw the entire thing in Procreate. So yeah, here we have the original cover, the inspiration from Goosebumps, and my final design for Breaking Dawn. Now, part of the reason why I cancelled this whole concept is because I wanted to make it so that I could have a printable version for people to buy and download, and then they can print it out at home and have their own dust jackets that they can just replace their own books with. Because there are companies that do this. I think it's like Juniper Books, but theirs are really expensive and you have to buy like the physical copies. I'm not about to send things out to people, so I'm like, you can download the digital copy and print it off yourself. I've actually done that. I follow someone on Instagram and she makes a really cute like replacement dust jackets, and I bought from her and printed them off. But when I printed, I don't know what, I'm just like technologically dumb, because every time I printed them off, they've come out the wrong size. So when I did this last year, I just cancelled the whole idea because they printed off way too small. And then today, when I decided to end up just sharing my art anyway, I'm like, let me go and print it out in the right size. So I went to the library, printed it out, and it's still 2 centimeters, like, or a centimeter too small. But anyway, here's what it looks like. I hate it. I really want to change the colors, so I'm not gonna have it for you to download today. But like, how fun, this in the background. And then I've got the spine, and on the back I've got quote. So it says, about 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how dominant that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. And so I just thought, like, so cute. But yeah, all of them, I'm just dumb and I printed them out too small, but like, how cool that like I made this and I'm finally just like shouting about it. Also, this one I did it wrong, like it's not really the right size. And also, I hate that this is such a long title because it doesn't like look good. But yeah, I forgot that like things look a certain way on a screen, and then when you print it out, the colors don't turn. Like, I think I want to make them more pastel, because my favorite one is like this one. So I want to make them more pastel. I've already started like editing it. Probably no one cares, but if you want these book covers yourself, please tell me, because I'm going to make it available to download for free, because I'm not about to charge someone for my stuff that I don't even like. Also, I'm not about to have Stephanie Meyer sue me, or the person who drew all the Goosebumps covers sue me, because I didn't design this myself. I just like redesigned someone else's thing with like my thing. Like, I didn't really, I mean, this one I kind of did, but not really. So I think probably the best way for me to do this is like, I don't know, I looked into different shop options. I'm definitely not doing Etsy, because I do not like Etsy. But I think for now, I'm just going to make a free Patreon, and then you can sign up for the free Patreon and then download them. But it won't be up now because I need to freaking change it. I don't know how this happened. Like, what did I do? Anyway, moving on to the next book. So Big Little Lies. The Australian cover is the one with the moon on it. And like, I don't know, like mystery covers are tricky. The cover that I tried to design, which I hated how it turned out once again, but it would probably not ever be on a mystery book, although Sally Hepworth books have kind of got this design. Anyway, the US cover is like a broken lollipop, which is like, I guess, to signify like childhood trauma, broken childhood, whatever. And the moon is nice, but it's like, I want something fun. So if you don't know, the premise of this book is we find out in the very first chapter that something happens at this trivia night and somebody dies. We don't know who dies, we don't know what happened, and then we jump back like a year in the past, and then the remainder of the book we are leading up to this trivia night where this person died, and we're finding out what happens. The trivia night is Elvis and Audrey themed, so you have to dress up as Elvis or Audrey at some point in it, like something that they wore at one point. So I thought I could redesign a cover with Elvis and Audrey on it because it's fun. So all I did for this one is pull an image of Elvis, pull an image of Audrey, and I just made like the type of like character art that they have on romance books, where it's like really simple. It's just one flat cover. There's no shading, there's no nothing, it's just like blocky. Can you tell I didn't go to art school? Like, I don't know the words for these things. And then the font, I wanted it to look like hand drawn, but I ended up absolutely freaking hating that. So here's my original covers and here's my end design. But while I hated that, what I did end up doing is turning it into like an art print where it looks like an invitation to the trivia night. And that I do like more than the cover. So it says like, you were invited to the Piri-wee public school, because that's the name of the public school in this book. Audrey and Elvis trivia night, and then like information that I got out of the book, like raffle prizes, blah, 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 blah. And then I also turned it into a fun bookmark where one side is Audrey and one side is Elvis. So I don't have a printed out version of the book cover because I hated how it turned out, but oh, I should have brought down my bookmark. I don't know, I printed one out and laminated it myself. And the last one for this video before we go to tomorrow's video is Anxious People. I bloody hate the cover for Anxious People. This one is bad. Like, what is this? And the US cover, which is like 2 people on it, I don't think that represents the book, because I've seen multiple people pitch this book like before they read it in like a haul or something, saying that they thought it was like a romance book where it was about 2 characters that are caught in this robbery and then fall in love. That is absolutely not what it's about. There's like another cover that I saw with like windows on it. That one I do think is good. I think that is the best out of all of them. But what is this? This isn't good. So I decided to redesign it. And there is a part, if you haven't read this book, this is going to make no sense. Again, I hate how this turned out because I was trying to find my art style and this is not it. Because I've seen people do really cute drawings where it's like, looks like it's pencil drawn, like it looks like paper texture and it looks like someone's drawn it with pencil. So I tried to do that and I hated it. But my basic idea is there's part of this book where there is a person, and I won't give spoilers, but they're wearing a rabbit head, like a costume rabbit head, and they're also naked, I think probably just in underwear. So I wanted to draw this person on the front because this is a weird book and I think it needs a weird cover, and this is stupid, and the one with the 2 people is stupid. No offense to those cover designers. Ugh. I mean, take my opinion with a grain of salt, because clearly I did not go to art school. I don't know a thing about designing book covers. Clearly I'm just doing whatever here. So yeah, my one, I thought it would be so funny if it's this person with a rabbit head on their head, and people who would see the book would be like, oh, this is a weird book, because it is a weird book. So the rabbit head I literally grabbed from The Sims 2. Because I was obsessed with The Sims 2, and I remember there was a weird I think it was called the Social Bunny. So that is where I pulled the rabbit head from, and then yeah, it has a weird body and underwear, and that is my cover for Anxious People. I kept the same font as the US cover, but yeah, here we have my design versus the original covers. I don't love it, but it is what it is. So here we have me being really hard on myself about redesigning book covers. I mean, I do like how these turned out, but they're not, I need to fix them. I've already tried making them more pastel and I think that looks better, but now I need to go back to the library and figure out, I must have clicked something wrong, because it was right on my computer, the measurements were right, and then as soon as I printed it I must have clicked the wrong thing because it's like a centimeter. But anyway, those are my 3 sets of covers for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I will tell you 3 more covers that I redesigned. Please be nice to me. I am not an artist. I am doing my best. So if you want to go and sign up, maybe something will be available to download at the moment for free. Probably not. I have more bookmarks coming out soon. I've already made them and I will release those. Yeah, in the future I will do, I'm thinking next year, like each month I will chuck some stuff off on the Patreon. I know there's a shop feature in Patreon now, but I don't want to charge people for it because I just don't think it's good. That's that. Let me know what you think. What covers would you redesign? In fact, what covers do you want to see me redesign? Because I'm already working on another video for next year for 3 more books. I already have 2 and I've started one of them. I'm rambling now. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I give you the rest of the books in this series. Bye.